Okay, guys, we are live. So, hello everyone, this is me Viraj, aka Harshal Jain, and today we are going to build a simple search bar using JavaScript. So, this is a very simple search bar, and before moving forward, let's check that everything is okay. Okay, so we have something in the live chat. वेटिंग ब्रो कल लाइव क्लास नहीं हुआ. हाँ यार, कल लाइव क्लास नहीं हुआ एक्चुअली. We had the Zoom session not yesterday, day before yesterday. We had the Zoom session on this full stack bootcamp course. This is a free course, so we had the Zoom session here, and in the description you'll find a link, so do check out the description. You'll find a link, project building sessions coming up, register to our full stack bootcamp course for free. So this is a free full stack bootcamp course and you can check this one out. Okay, so you'll find the link in description for this one. Just start this course. Actually, GFG is planning like a few of the sessions will be on YouTube, that is this live stream, and some other sessions will be on this specific course. So you can check out this course. This is a free course, and in this course, you can see that we have various technologies sections for them. And I am talking about this live section. You'll see that my previous live sessions were saved here. Okay, so you can see that all the live sessions I took on Zoom. You can check them out. Okay, and also you can check that we have an upcoming session, build a text to speech converter in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, part 1, and it will also have part 2. So it will be on 4th February, and the next one will be on 5th of February. So do check these out. They will be live on Zoom. The meeting link will be available here. Also, if you enroll for this course, full stack bootcamp course, you will be notified via mail whenever we are conducting a session. Okay, so I'll also wait for you there also. Okay, so I hope you got the link, and if you have any doubts, you can comment on this video, or you can comment on the any of my videos, or you can message me on Instagram at the rate Harshal underscore 3011 is my username, or LinkedIn, or wherever you like. Okay, so I hope I am clear with the things. And okay, actually, sometimes I get a little bit of late with these sessions. Like usually I start the sessions around 8:05. Okay, but sometimes I get late. So now I'll be more regular. Okay, sometimes it gets late around 2-3 minutes. So have patience for that. And also I'll also try to start the session as soon as possible. Okay, so on time, that is 8 p.m. Okay, the mostly the time is 8 p.m. for any of my sessions, so you can check out. So now we can start with the session, and let's get the demo. Okay, let's get the demo. So you can see this is a very simple search bar, but the main use of this search bar is to show results, live results. Suppose if I type J, so I'll get the results of all the users having the name starting with J. So where it will be useful? Suppose you are building a social media platform or any e-commerce platform like Amazon, you might be seeing that you are getting the real-time search results. That's happening because of this simple search bar. Okay, so that's also a complex search bar in Amazon. Obviously, they have used a complex search bar, but yeah, if you're a beginner, you'll definitely need this search bar in any of your projects. If you're building any e-commerce platform or your simple project, any of your projects, you sometimes need a search bar. And I guess there are very less video on YouTube talking about this specific search bar. So you can watch this video, and definitely this is a beginner friendly video if you don't know how to build these kind of search bars. Suppose if I write suppose I want to find Michael, MIC. So you can see that all the users names will be shown which have MI in their name. Okay, either in their name or surname, or in the email, or on the age, or on the location. So suppose if I write Paris, PAR. Okay, so you can see that I got the person which whose location is in Paris. So there can be multiple people in Paris, but yeah, you can see that the search bar is working accurately. Okay, yeah, like the auto suggestion in Me Lab. So you can definitely use this if you are ordering something from Zomato or any other platform. You can see that if you type chart. Okay, so you can see that chart can be from many other restaurants. So all the restaurant names will be listed on the search bar who are selling charts near you. Okay, so chaat is a very delicious food, by the way. Do try that. Okay, so I hope I am clear with this project, and now we can start with the coding part. Actually, one more thing, if you want the source code of this this specific project, this will be a one video based project. This video will cover everything about this project, not part 2. Okay, this will be only one video for this project. So just visit my GitHub profile. I'll just share you the link in live chat. You just have to type github.com/virajj014. This is my GitHub profile. I'll just share that in the live chat. So here you can check this out. Hello, study lover. Here you can check this out. This is my profile. Don't forget to follow me here. Inside this, you have to visit the repositories section. All the repositories are free for you. You can check them out. Here you have the JS_real-time search bar. So do check this out. This is the final source code of this project. If you want to implement search functionality in any of your projects, you can definitely use my code, and I won't file any case on you if you steal this one, by the way. Just kidding. You can use this code anywhere you like for reference, and obviously you can create a better design than mine. I've just created a simple UI, by the way. I'm not a UI designer, but I tried my best to make a representation out of it. Okay, so where here we use API or go through JSON. Right now I have used JSON only because I wanted to make it beginner friendly only, but you can use any of the API data. Like I created a weather app a few days ago. I guess it was on this. I guess it was on this. Okay, it was on this full stack bootcamp course. Okay, I told you the procedure, so you can see that real-time weather app is available here. Okay, so this is a project which is based on API. So you can actually combine this search bar and this API to get search results, all the suggestions of the cities which I have typed down. Okay, so you can definitely use a combination of both of them, but I'll leave a space for that where you can implement your API or like anything you like. Okay, I'll just show you how can you implement your API, the simplest way you can implement on this project. Okay, but right now we aren't going to use any kind of API, but yeah, I'll show you where can you implement that. Okay, so now let's continue, and I told you that here's the source code. You can check this out. If you don't find the repository, what you should do, you can simply go to the repository. Here you can simply search JS_real-time. I know my names are kind of confusing, but never mind. I tell you the exact procedure to get the repository and the source code. Okay, so you can check this out, JS_search bar, real-time search bar. Okay, so one more thing, you can also star this one. So what does it do? It will simply bring that repository into your stars section. Okay, so that will be really helpful if you want to get the repository directly anytime, okay, anywhere. So it will be saved forever, and also you can fork this one if you like. All right, so I hope we can continue. And yes, okay, so first of all we need to create a simple file. First of all, we need to create a simple file and folder. So you just have to choose any of your folders. I'll create a new folder here, and I'll just name it JS_JS_ real time, or you can simply write right now CRCHBAR. Okay, search bar, and since it's the real time one, real time. Also, we built a search bar in the weather app, but it was not real time, because it wasn't giving me real time suggestions. So you can apply this logic on the real time search bar applications wherever you are trying to use. Okay, you can create search bar very easily, but creating a real time search bar is I can say not so discussed task. Okay, it is very easy, but it's not very discussed nowadays. So yeah, I'll tell you the easiest way you can create a real-time search bar. So first of all, I'll open it with VS Code. So uh, VS Code must be installed, and if you aren't using VS Code, you can use any other IDE. But yeah, I recommend that you can use VS Code. It's awesome. Okay, it's nice. You can use this one. So you can create a simple file index.html, and yeah, this is the file. I'll increase the font size so it's visible to you all. Okay, and I'll close this first. And let me just open it on live server also. So I'll first of all give it a heading of search bar. Okay, and I'll open it with live server. So what is live server? Live server is a simple extension. You can check out the extensions pack for that. Here you have to search live server. Okay, live server. And yes, here is live server extension. You have to install that, then we are good to go. Okay, so after installing that, you'll see a button here, go live, or you can simply right click here and you'll click open with live server. So that's the simple live server extension which helps us to get real-time changes. Okay, I tell this every single video because some of you might be watching first time and some of you might be beginners, so things must be clear. Okay, that's why I tell this every day, what's the extension and what's the snippet. By the way, this is a very great shortcut. You can simply write exclamation mark and hit enter, you can get this shortcut. Okay, so this is a very useful shortcut, and but it's harmful sometimes, like it's very difficult to learn the HTML boilerplate. I accept that because it took a very long time to me to actually remember this boilerplate. So if you are using shortcut, just make sure you know this. Okay, you know this and you remember this. All right. So that's the simple thing. That's the simple shortcut which we can use. So first of all, we'll create a container. Okay. So I am giving it a simple styling first, and styling will be first of all, I'll suggest this to anyone. Give the margin padding, initial margin padding as 0. Okay, so it will remove any existing margin padding to all the containers which we have defined or which we are going to define in the HTML part. Okay, then what we can say, I want a black background color. So I'll say body. We have to name the tag, and I'll say the background color. Background color will be, suppose I'll choose black only. Okay, I'll choose black, and I'll say the width will be 100%, height will be 100 bh. Okay, I'll say minimum height will be 100 bh because sometimes the height can also extend. And if I reload this, you can see that I got a black background color. I'll name it as real time search bar. Okay, real time search bar. So you got the idea, and that's the simple CSS which we have written. All right, now what to do? Now we can first of all create a container. Okay, now we can create a container, and here I would say that here I will create a division, simple division. I will give it a class of class equals container, container. Okay, container. So this will be our simple container. I'll give it a division which will have our search bar. So I'll give it a class of search bar. Okay, search bar. This will be our search bar. Inside this we'll have the search input value. Okay, search input, and we'll have an input container. You can also create a search button, etc, etc, but since we are using real time features, so button is not required. We'll get results as soon as we type something here. Okay, we want the result as soon as we type something here. You don't need to put any search button today. Okay, so you can add different functionalities. If you want to go to that specific page after typing this, then you can click search and it will search that for you in your browser or anywhere you are using that. Okay, so I hope I am clear with that. And now I would say that we have the search container. Let's give it an ID also so that we can target it via JavaScript. So giving an ID is always beneficial when you are dealing with JavaScript. So it's great. You can use IDs very easily and you can target them using JavaScript very easily. So we have given this an ID, search input, and it's inside a container search bar. Then I would say that, yeah, we have the search bar, we want the results also. So I would say that create a division, the class will be result. Okay, result. And inside this, we can simply create a division which will contain our specific cards. Okay, for now I'll say that my first card will be division. I'll give it a class cards, nothing but the result. Okay, the particular result. We can get an endless number of cards, but right now I'm just giving it a card class, and card will have a header. Suppose header will contain the name. Okay, so I'll give it a division and I'll give it a class. So this is optional. You can create your own HTML code. By the way, this is just for demonstration of user data which we are going to generate. So we'll write h3 tag, and suppose the name is JOHNDOE. Okay, John Doe. And then, okay, what does meant? Okay, simply you can say that height is 100 VH. What does this mean? Okay, so I'll say that 100 VH simply means, you can see my screen has some height and width. Okay, so this will simply say that take the height of whole screen. Okay, 100% will say they take the height of whole container. That's the difference. Okay, 100% will mean that if I say 100% is height is 100%. That means that take the height of whole container. But 100 vh simply means take the height of whole screen. Okay, take the height of whole screen. That's why it took the whole space. Okay, so you'll understand this more clearly. Whenever you give 100 vh to any container, it will take the whole space of the screen. Okay, so that's the simple logic behind 100 vh. It will take the height of whole screen, the view in which you are looking at. Suppose you are watching it in a mobile, so 100 vh means the whole height of the mobile screen. Okay, if you're watching it on any desktop, so I would say on any monitor, I would say that whole height of the monitor screen. That simply means 100 vh. That's the logic. And also one more thing, a confusion might arise. I might get wrong with this, but yeah, a confusion might arise that what is this then? If I make it smaller, make this window smaller, then what does this represent? It simply says that height 100 vs simply says that the height of the whole window. Okay, you can say that height of the whole window in which you are looking at, in which your browser is in. Okay, you can see that the browser is a window. Okay, browser is a window, so 100 vh will be the height of the browser size. All right, so that's it. 100 vh simply says that. So yeah, we have given 100 VHI. Then we have the container which has the heading name as John Doe, and we'll also write another detail here. I'll say that uh, class equals card dash body. Okay, body. So card body, it will have suppose an age. Age is suppose 30, and then I would say that location. Location equals suppose New York. And then here I would say that suppose I'll also give the email. Okay, so I would say that h4 tag here, just give it an email, john123 at the rate gmail.com. Okay, so this is the email. So I have given a random card. Okay, so you can just assume that this is the random user data which we are getting for any instance. Now we'll style it first, then we'll jump to the JavaScript part. So here I would say that first of all, target the search bar. I want the search bar first, SEARCHBAR. Now, first of all, I want everything in center. Okay, I want everything in center. So for that, I will say that display flex and make sure the width and height are 100% 100 VH for this body. Okay, because I want everything in center of my page. So for that, I'll say display flex direction as column. Okay, suppose I'll give it a column, and then I would say justify content center, align items center. So you can see that we have this search bar in the center of this page. So this is a simple trick which you can use in any of your logic of the code. You can bring any container in the center of your page by this logic. Okay, so yeah, we have the search bar, and inside this, sorry, inside this I would say that here with this 100%. Okay, with this 100%, let's see that search bar is inside this container. So let's first support uh, this container. Okay, we will target this container, and this container will suppose have a border radius. Okay, suppose we'll have a border radius and something. So here we'll say that, sir, can you please increase the volume? Okay, just a minute. I guess the volume is enough, but just a minute. Audio properties. Okay, now I guess the audio must be louder than before. Bro, display grid का भी use करो कभी. Actually, I recommend everyone to use only one thing. Okay, either you can use flex or you can use grid. My habit is to use flex, that's why I use flex. But yeah, you can use grid. It's up to you. You can use any CSS. But the point is to get the final representation of the UI. So you can bring that in any way. Okay, there's no right or wrong in this. So yeah, this is my way, by the way. You can use grid also in this procedure. That's up to you. Okay, so yeah, we have the container, and I also agree that in grid, in increase 400%. Okay, let's see that is my voice enough or not. Okay, so yeah, we have. I guess my voice is loud enough now. Okay, so yeah, now we can continue. I guess my voice is loud enough, so I don't think now there's a need. So I'll say the width is 100%. And संगीता जी बोल रही है थैंक्स सर वेलकम एंड थैंक्स फॉर टेलिंग मी यार एक बार क्या हुआ था मैं आई वाज एक्चुअली शूटिंग this same video for any other topic. So after I covered half of the video, I came to know that my voice isn't loud enough, and nobody told me. So I can't do anything for that. So thanks, Yar, for telling me that my voice is not loud enough today because this would have spoiled full the complete live session. So thanks. And one more person is here, Anmol. Your social media app series is awesome. Thanks, Yar. Thanks for watching, by the way. Uh, it's you who you make it possible, who make this possible. And definitely, if you want more projects like that, so fill that on the comment section. I'll definitely bring more projects. It's on the demand, by the way. So if we have demand for a specific project, like for example, an e-commerce platform using React JS, etc., etc. So you can definitely give me suggestions on that specific videos comment section. So I have given this a border of 1 pixel solid white. Okay, now I want this sidebar. Now I want to style this sidebar. So we'll do that later on. I have given this max width of 500. So if the screen is more smaller than this, you can see that it becomes smaller, smaller, smaller. That's because of max width is 500. Okay, if the screen width is 500, the window width is 500. You can see that it gets smaller and smaller. Okay, so that's the logic of giving 500. So it makes the UI more easy. Thanks for sharing your good experience with us. Arey, uh, definitely, I'll share my experience. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me with anything you like in stack development career or getting internships or getting a freelance job. You can ask anything regarding that to me. Okay. So my mic fell off. Hmm. Now we are good. All right, so the width is 100% and the max width is 500. Border is something something. Border radius, let's give it border radius of 20 pixels, suppose. So yeah, border radius is 20 pixels, suppose, and the height is, I'll give it a height of 500 so that we get every search result inside this 500 only. We'll make a scroll bar, by the way. And also one more thing, I'll say that overflow will be hidden. Okay, so you can see that the overflow what that search bar was hidden. Okay, now we can continue with the search bar. So you can see that, yeah, it's looking pretty nice, but not so nice. So search bar, we have the width of 100%. We have the width of search bar as 100%. But inside this, we have the search input. Okay, so I would say that search bar dot input will also have the width of 100%. Okay, so now it has taken the whole space. All right, so now we can continue. And first of all, I am targeting the search bar. So right now, I don't give this a width of 100% because we need to target the search bar. So first of all, I'll give it a background color of white only. Okay, white background color. So you can see that it's taking the whole space. And then I would say that the border radius. Okay, border radius is 20 pixel again, 20 pixel again, and not 20. I'll just give it 50. And we also need to give it some margin and padding. Okay, so for that, I would say that make it dis display as flex, display as flex. Okay, inside this I want the search bar. So let's suppose I'm not giving display flex right now. First of all, I'll give it a padding. Okay, first of all, I'll give it a padding of suppose 5 pixel, 5 pixel, 20 pixel. Okay, so let's save this, and yeah, we got the nice search bar. And then I guess everything is okay. By the way, this is top 5 pixel, top and bottom 5 pixel, and 20 pixel from left and right. And then I would say that nothing more is required. So we got a simple search bar, and also don't want any border for this one. So first of all, I'll give it a width of 100%, and then I don't want any border, so I'll say border will be none. Okay, so this is the simple search bar which we have created, and we can also give it a padding of 10 pixel from inside. You can see that it's not looking so good, so I'll say that it will be 5 pixel. And yeah, I'll also give it a font size. Suppose this is a very rough CSS, by the way. You can just use this, use another type of awesome CSS. I'm just writing this so that we can see the search results in a way. As you can see, if I click on this, you can see that we have the outline. So for that, you can simply use a property outline of none. So this is a very confusing property which a lot of you might have faced, outline none. So I told you that you can remove this by this simple logic. So our outline has been removed. We have created the input container. Then we want to show you the results. Okay, so right now you aren't able to see any results because we haven't styled this container. So let's jump on this one, and I'll come up here. I'll say result. Okay, result, and then we'll give it a height of 100%, 100%. And if there is any, there, suppose there are 1,000 results. Okay, so they might take the screen width, whole screen height. I'm sorry, whole screen height. So for that, I would say that overflow will be scroll. Okay, so overflow of y-axis will be scroll. Okay, so if anything is greater than this whole height, it will be scrollable. Okay, so everything will be inside this container of maximum height 500. I guess I have given 500. You can see that I have given 500 pixels. Okay, so it will be as all the results, 1,000 results or any number of results will be inside this container. So that's the simple overflow logic which I have used, else it would have taken the infinite space of the page only. Okay, so now I would say that we have the result container. Now inside this we have the card. So let's style the card. uh, I'll first of all say that the display is flex for the card, and everything has color white inside this card. Okay, so now you'll be able to see that. And suppose the font family is Courier. This is the sample data I have written. We'll manipulate it with JavaScript, and then I want the contents to be spaced between. Okay, so one will be in left and other will be in right. That is this header will be in left and the card body will be in right, because the flex direction is by default row. And I guess now we are clear. So I would say that one more thing is required. So line item setter will simply do one thing. It will bring them in line, align item center. And then padding, some padding can be 10 pixel from every side padding, and then some border bottom of 1 pixel solid white. Okay, solid white. You can see I got the border. And yeah, we have given the width of 100%, so let's give it 100%. If it's not taken now, it will take. And now you can say that the card body, I guess the card body is okay, and you can see that we have the things here. Okay, and now I guess we can continue with the JavaScript part. Okay, we can continue with the JavaScript part. So let's jump on to the JavaScript. And right now we are showing a sample result. Okay, so I won't show this. So I'll just remove this. Okay, so initially you won't be seeing any result. Now let's target this. Okay, so I have a sample data which you can copy from my GitHub repository. So I will show you my GitHub repository. In your browser, you just have to visit there. Okay, so where's that? Okay, so in your browser you just have to type github.com/virajj014. Okay, you just have to visit my profile. Here you can follow me, and also in the repositories section you can check out gs_realtime search bar. Okay, why am I telling you this? Because we have the sample data there, so you can, if you want, you can copy sample data from there only. So if you don't find this repository after some time, because you can see I post frequent updates here, so you can simply search the name gs_realtime. You will find this repository. Inside this, visit the JavaScript part. Okay, right now I have the JavaScript part inside this HTML only. Okay, I have the JavaScript part here, but later on if I shift the JavaScript part into scripted.js, you will find the same uh, sample user data there. Okay, so you can just copy this, and this is a set of 20 users, or you can use any API. Okay, so one person asked that how can we use API, so instead of this you can call data from API. That is a simple logic. Okay, instead of this you can simply call an API, the data from API. Okay, so I'll just copy this, and then we'll go back and I'll paste that in the JavaScript part. So let's first create the script tag here, and here I will say that let data equals, and Okay, I'm sure I have copied the variable also. So let's see. So yeah, here we have the variable, and you can give it a let or cost, doesn't mind. So we can just use the sample data. You can see we have the NID, name, email, age, location. That's for 20 sample users, I guess. Sorry, 15 sample users. So you can see that are some examples. Okay, these are some examples, and this is a, by the way, JSON formatted array. You can see that we have an array. Inside this, we have some number of objects. Okay, so this is the data which you can assume is coming from any API or backend. Okay, so I have stored this data somewhere. You can call this from any backend. So that logic is separate from this video. We are going to show real-time search results, not how to get the data from any backend. Okay, so you can get all of your data from backend inside this variable. Now comes the real logic. So I hope this much is clear. Now, since we have the data of 15 users, okay, let me just show you that again. Here we have data of 15 users, 15 random users. This is, suppose you can call it a data from social media platform. Okay, we have a search bar in Instagram, and we have searched any user. So we got 15 search results. Okay, so how to show them? How to show them? That will be the logic which we are going to use. So first of all, we'll create the variables for targeting these fields. So we first of all we need to target this search input. Okay, so I'll just create a variable named as const search. Okay, search equals document dot, and you can say query selector. Inside this you have to write hashtag search input. Okay, so we have targeted what? This ID has been targeted, this input container has been targeted. Okay, so we have this input container. Again, we can say that we want to target the container. Okay, we want to target the result one. Okay, we want to target this result one. So I would again say that const result equals query selector, and you have to mention the result class. Since we have only one result container and one class, that's why I have mentioned the class. Else you would have to mention an ID, because an ID is always unique. Okay, so you can simply mention the class if you have only one result class, Okay, so now I would say that we have the basic things, and then I will call a function every time I make a change to this. Where is that page? To this container. Okay, if I type a, I'll call a function which will show me search results. Okay, if I again write bc, so it will show me result for bc. If I write anything like Harshal, if I write my name, so it will show me results for Harshal. Whenever I make any change, whenever I press a single alphabet h, so it will show me for results for h. Now if I press a, so it will show me results for ha. Now if I press r, it will show me results for har together. Okay, so that's the simple logic for the search results. Then you can say that first of all, I'll create a function named as search item. Okay, so just come up here, and I would say that here is the function search search item. Okay, this is the function, and this is an arrow function, and it's a good habit to use arrow function, or else you can use a simple function you like. Okay, that's not much difference right now, but you can say that if you go to advanced JavaScript part, that means that async function are very useful for that. Okay, so first of all, I'll say that I want the value of my search uh, input. Okay, so search input is what? Search is input is inside this variable. So I would say console.log, and I want to print its value. So I would say search value. So it will give me what? It will print whatever is present inside the search container. Okay, search bar, search container. So if I have written AB, so it will print AB. Okay, okay. If I have written C after this, it will print ABC. Okay, so that's the logic, and let it be, and we'll call this as soon as we make any change. Okay, so for that I'll say that's search. Okay, search input. If there is any change, I'll call the event listener. So we'll say that if I have pressed any key, I'll call the search results. Okay, event listener. Inside this, I would say that if I have pressed any key, the key up event will be called, and we'll call a function after that. Okay, if I have pressed any key up event will be called, and then we can call any function, or you can write a single function here also. Okay, so this function will be called, search item function will be called, and it will print whatever is the value inside this container. So let's try this first. So let's inspect this, and in the console, in the console, let's see if I type A, you can see that I got A, because whenever I type anything, we got the event key up. Okay, because of that, the search item function is called, and whatever is the value, we got the value printed. Okay, so suppose if I type B. So after this we got AB. Okay, AB together. Not only B, we got AB together. And if I write C, D, E, F, so you can see that for every change, you are getting results. Okay, you are getting results. That means this function is called. So that's how this function is very useful, and we call that via event listener. Okay, so now you got the idea how are we getting real-time changes in any of the search bar. Okay, so after this we have the search value what we are trying to search. Now we want to show the results regarding that. Okay, so for that we have this function. Okay, since we have this function, first of all my search value will be none. I'll create a variable search, and I'll name it as search value equals suppose blank. Okay, this is the blank search value. And then inside this, let's say that let new data, this is another array, this is another array which will be based on our search results, which will contain all of our search results. Okay, so this will be our new data. Now below this, I would say that if something is inside the search container, that means if right now if doesn't have anything, that means this if case won't be running. So I would say that if it has nothing, so the value dot length, okay, value dot length, if the length is greater than 0, that means the search bar has something, it contains some string or some alphabet, etc, etc. So this condition will be running. Okay, so in the else case, I would say that if I haven't written anything, I guess the else case won't be required now. So let it be, let it be. Now we are in the first case. Suppose if I have written nothing, this case won't be running. So for the logic won't be running. But if I have written something, suppose if I have written A, if I have written A, that means the search input value is A. Okay. So search value is not defined because okay. So suppose if I have written A, so it won't be causing any problem, and I can say that we have typed something. But if I haven't written anything, you can see that it's clear, so this case won't be running. Okay, so now we are inside this case if I have typed something like this. Okay, so now what I want, first of all, I'll convert my value in lower case. Okay, all of my values will be compared in lower case. Suppose you are comparing small a and capital A. Our computer treats that differently. Okay, so first of all, you'll convert everything into lower case. So suppose if I have written A as search value, so I'll convert this to small a. Okay, I'll convert this to small a. So for that, I would say that search value equals SEA search dot value, that is our value, and we'll convert it to lowercase. Okay, that's the simple logic which we have used. So let's print it, console.log search value. Okay, so suppose I have written capital A. Okay, just a minute. I'm sorry. Initially, it's blank. I made a mistake. Instead of this, I want search dot value. Okay, I want search dot value because I want the value of the search container, not this variable. Okay, so my mistake. Sorry. So yeah, now let's see that if it works or not. So if I write A, you can see that I got small a. If I write capital A, again I got small a. If I write capital B, I got capital small a, small b. So that's the simple logic. I have converted the search value to lowercase and stored inside this variable search value, and then we have printed this. Okay, so now the basics of conversion is done. Now we are trying to get the data out of it. Okay, so suppose I have written John, John. So what I want is I want to get the name of all the users whose name contains John, or their location has John, or their age has John, something like that. Okay, obviously the logic is different, but yeah, you got the idea. I want the users, the object, okay, the objects, all the objects, okay, not a single object, all the objects which has their name John. Okay, or suppose if I have written DOE, okay, if I have written DOE, so it will return me John Doe and Jane Doe, because because both of them have Doe. Okay, that's the simple logic. So just come up here again, and then I would say the new data array, okay, new data array will contain the results. Okay, So from where are we taking the results? We are taking the results from this data. Okay, from this data array which we have created before. Okay, so you can bring this data from API also. So after this, we have the new data variable, and we what we want is filter the data which has my name or my location or something like that matching with the search value. So for that, I'll say data dot filter. This is a very simple method for filtering data, and you can use it anywhere. Okay, so we are going to filter the data. So suppose we have 15 objects inside this. Okay, so this will run 15 times. Okay, this will make comparisons 15 times. Okay, so after this, so suppose the first index will come up here. Okay, so what will it happen? Item simply represents the index of the array. Okay, at first the item will run, and item will contain what? Item will contain this. Item will contain this. Now on the second iteration, item will contain this. On the third iteration, item will contain this, and so on. Okay, so now you got the idea what is item variable. Item variable is simply represents the objects present inside them one by one. Okay, so at first it represent data zero index, and then it would represent in the next iteration, it would represent data's first index, and so on. Okay, so now I would say that return this return this item if its name is name. First we have to convert it to lowercase, to lower case. Okay, let's first print the data. So I would say that console.log and suppose I'll print the item. Okay, so now let's see it if it works. So if I write a, okay, so you can see that I got all the items. This is happening because of what? Because I have written the filter property, and I have targeted each of the object inside this data variable. That means all the 15 users. Okay, so we are getting them one by one. All the 15 users are printed one by one. Okay, so now you got the idea what is item. So after this, I would say that return those items which have this search value. Okay, suppose I am talking about the name only. So I would say that return, okay, let's say I am here item dot name. Okay, I am here and I'll write item dot name. So suppose if I write anything again, so if I write a, you can see that I got the name. Okay, and now I want to print only that name which has my search value. That means all the names which have a alphabet inside them. Okay, so for that I would say item dot name dot to lowercase. First of all, you need to convert into lowercase for comparison. Okay, since the search value is in lowercase, we also need to convert the name in lowercase and all of the fields in lowercase. Now I would say that we have converted into lowercase. Dot includes, it must include the search value. That's it. That's the simple logic. Okay, so now if I write a, you'll get all the results which have a. Okay, so right now it's returning me true and false for the cases. Okay, but definitely right now we are representing true and false. So for that, if I just return it directly, so it will return that value which has my name. So return, or for more better representation, if and I'll just copy this right here, and inside this I would say that console.log item dot name. Okay, I'll just print the item name. Suppose if I have written a, so you'll get all the users which have a in their names. Suppose if I have written DOE, okay, so you'll get all the users which have do in their name. Obviously this data will be removed first. Okay, right now the console does not refreshes it, but obviously the data will be removed, or you can simply clear this, or clear. Okay, so you can clear this every time. Suppose I have written J. Okay, okay, it's clearing every time, but you got the idea. It will return me all the names which will contain DOE. Suppose I have written DOE. Okay, so you will get all the names which will have DOE. That's the simple logic. Okay, so now I would say that if the name includes item.name dot to lowercase dot includes inside this, I'll say that if it includes the search value, if it returns the search value, then return true. Okay, so if it returns true, we'll return this that particular object to our new data. Okay, else if it returns false, then obviously new data won't have that particular object. So now let's see that if it's working or not. So suppose if I print console.log new data, if I write DOE, okay, so now you can see that DOW is nowhere. If I write DOE, okay, if I write DOE, so you got the two objects, okay, which have DOE in their name. You can see that they have DOE in their name. Okay, suppose I want the same for email. Okay, for email, so for this I would again say item dot email, item dot, it's same, okay, it's same, item dot email dot to, okay, yeah, this isn't required. Okay, to locale lowercase isn't required, so you can simply say to lowercase. Inside this I would again say dot includes ca search value. Okay, so now let's try that. So if I say that give me all the emails which have example, okay, which have example.com, etc, etc, so it will return me all the emails which have example.com in their string. Okay, in their string. Bro, can you repeat what does input does? Input simply does that it will check that if suppose A is written, okay, in A is written inside search container. So what the search value do? Search value simply have search for value will simply have A, alphabet A. So include will simply say that return me all the emails, return me all the names, return me all the emails which have A alphabet inside them. That's the simple logic for using includes. Okay, so now you got the idea. Includes will simply say that return me all the emails which will have the alphabet A or will have the name Harshal, etc, etc. Okay, so it will give me all the results. That's the simple use of includes. So similarly we can also do the same for we got the emails. We can simply do the same for suppose I would say that I want the same for age. Okay, so I'll say that item dot age dot to lower case dot includes inside this I would say it will have the search value. Okay, suppose if I write 2, so it will return me all the values, it will return me all the values whose age start with 2. Okay, whose age start with 2 or have value 2 like 82 or 25, etc, etc. Okay, so suppose if I write 5, okay, let's close this first. Suppose if I have written 5, you will get all the 8 results whose age you can see 25, 35, 45, 50, 55, 65, 75, 85. So all of them have 5 in their ages. Okay, so that logic can be also modified. You don't want anything greater than 50, etc, etc. Okay, so that's the logic. And we have the age. Again, we'll apply the same for suppose location. Okay, so we have the location parameter. Make sure you have the parameter in your object. Okay, in your object, in your all of the objects, you can see I have data parameters all the objects. Okay, so it will work for name, email, location, age, etc. Okay, so now I would say that if I type location as Paris, okay, Paris, okay, so it will keep on giving me search results. And you can say that hi Vikas Kumar, you can say that I got the person whose location is Paris. There can be multiple people, by the way, which will have location as Paris. So I hope you got the simple idea. Thanks, Nikhil Kumar. You are awesome too, bro. So yeah, that's the simple search result. And I hope you got the idea. And we are printing new data. That's why we are getting this on console, by the way. Now we want to show this new data. We want to show this new data inside our page. Okay. So for that, we'll create another function. So I would say that the function name will be suppose showdata. Inside this, I would say that pass the array. Okay, new data array will be passed to this function and show data. Okay, so I'll close this function, and now inside this I'll create a function named as show data equals. Inside this I'll say that first of all I'll print console.log, and we also need to get the new data here also. So I would say that let's take the same name. Okay, you can also choose a different name as a parameter. So I would say console.log and new data. NUUDAT. Okay, so I'll print this. Let's see that if it works or not. So you can see that yeah, it's working. This function is being called on every change because I called this function inside search item. Okay, so now inside this I have the search results. I want to show this search result where I want to show the search result inside my page. So for that I will show result inside this container. Okay, this result container will contain all my search results. How? Let me just comment this out and remove the comment. And if I copy this, let me just copy this and paste. So if I pasted it, you can see that I got the three results. Okay, so this will be done by a I have done this manually. I've done this by copy paste, but you can do this via JavaScript. That means automatic. So for that, let me just remove this. Okay, let me just remove this and let me just copy this, and you can comment this out. Okay, so let's save. Right now you don't have any search results. Okay, so here just write first of all let HTML. Okay, this is a simple variable name. You can choose any other variable name. Initially it will be blank, and then I would say that pass the new data one by one. New data dot for each. Okay, so for each is very useful. You can use this for EACH. Okay, so it will again target all my items one by one. So if we have the first item, first result item. Okay, I want to show this result item in what? Inside this HTML variable. I'll store this inside this HTML variable. In what format? In this format. So the format is what? Format is suppose this. Okay, right now I'm just saving it in this format. Later on we'll convert that on the desired name, email, etc, etc. So now you can see that I have stored all the objects. Suppose there were 15 results or 5 results. Suppose there were 5 results, 5 search results. Okay, so 5 search results will come inside this function, and for each this will be added up to 5 times. Okay, this will be added to this variable HTML variable 5 times. Okay, because this for each loop will run 5 times. That's the simple logic. Now after this we have added this, we have to add this to our page. Okay, this HTML will be added 5 times to this variable. So let's add this to our page. So for that I will say that result. What is result? Result is this container which we have targeted, whose class we have targeted. Okay, so we have targeted this class inside this variable. So again I'll call this result dot inner HTML equals the HTML variable which we have. So if I save this, suppose if I write A, so you got all the results. Okay, but now you can see if I close this, now you can see we are getting the same results because we haven't changed this HTML. So we have to manipulate this by simply doing one thing. We'll write the parameters. So that's why I have used backticks. So don't forget to use backticks. Now I would say that suppose the name is item.name. So now let's see if I write DOE. So you can see that I got the results, but only item.name has changed because I have changed the name. So let me just change the rest of the things. So again I want that particular item dot email. Okay, and also I want the age, so I would write dollar item dot age. Okay, again I would write item dot location, so you can write dollar item dot location. Okay, let's see that if it works. Suppose if I write A, you can see that I got the results. Suppose if I write J, so it will return me all the results which have J in their name, location, or address, or email, etc, etc. Just remember I have used or here. Okay, you have to use or here because we have assumption if A is not present in name, it might be present in search value, it might be present in email, it might be present in age, it might be present in location. Okay, that's why I have used or sign. You can see that this is the or sign, so that will actually compare for all the cases. Alright, so this is the simple search bar which we have created, and if I remove this, if I write A, you can see that I got the search results and they are scrollable. Okay, so we don't exceed the screen size, and you can see that we are inside the screen and we are getting all the results. Okay, so I hope you got the idea. Suppose if I write the age as 30, so you can see I will get all the results which will have age 30 in their profile. So that's the simple logic, and you can apply this logic anywhere you like, in any social media platform or any you can say any e-commerce platform, or wherever you like to implement, in either in a food delivery app like Zomato. So you'll get the search results of the nearest restaurants. Uh, if you type Rasgulla, you'll get the results for all the restaurants which were offering Rasgulla. How will that happen? It will simply get the data inside this data variable from the API, Zomato API or any other API. Okay, so data will be called here, and then you can simply represent the data according to the results. Okay, so that's the simple logic which we can use. Also, in bigger social media platforms or bigger industries, you can see that a limited amount of data has been called, because that amount of data has been sent from the backend. Okay, so that's the role of the backend will send limited amount of data. Suppose it will send the only 50 users data. You can see that if you search any user, you'll get only a limited number of usernames there. Okay, so that's from the backend. It's not from the front end side much, but you can also build the logic for that. But my goal was to show you real-time search results. That's what we are getting. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and definitely we'll be bringing more much awesome content like this is a simple search bar which you can implement anywhere, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Before ending this session, I wanted to show you one more thing. In the description you will find a link project building sessions coming up. Register to our full stack bootcamp course for free. Okay, so they have provided a link. Just click that link and you'll be taken to this page. Okay, I'll take you to that page. Yes, you will be taken up to this page. Okay, this is a free course. You can enroll for that. Why am I telling this? Because I've been conducting Zoom meetings in this course. This is a free course. Inside the live session you can see that we have an upcoming session, build a text to speech converter in HTML, CSS and JavaScript part 1. So this is a very awesome project which I am going to build for you on 4th February 8 p.m. So you'll find the link here, and also if you enroll for this bootcamp, free bootcamp, you will be notified via your email. Okay, so do check this one out. And also, if you aren't able to watch these sessions, live Zoom meetings, you can check out the recordings also. The recordings are also available here. I have been telling this in every video, but still people ask me that. So no worries, you can check out the recordings here. All right, so that's it for today. And you can also check out the other courses here in the web development. If you want to learn more advanced web development stuff, you can check out these courses also. Yeah, they are pretty nice, and for advanced and intermediate level you can definitely go for them. They are for your benefit only. Okay, so that's it. And if you want the source code, you can check out this repository. This is my GitHub repository. For that you have to visit github.com/virajj014. Okay, this is my GitHub repository, a GitHub profile. Inside this you have the repositories section. Here you have to search for js underscore real time search bar. Okay, we have it in the top, but if in future you don't find that, you can simply search js underscore real time search bar. Okay, this is the search bar. You can find this, and inside this we have the index.html which I have written right now, and you can definitely enjoy this code. This is the source code. You can use this source code anywhere you like. Okay, I'll also share that on the live chat. If you want to access this right now, you can access that definitely. Can we add an option if data is not matched, no match found? Yeah, definitely. Let's see that if we can add that. Uh, Suppose if I write division and I'll say class, or I can give it an ID. Suppose uh, I'll simply write a p tag, and I'll give it a, suppose I'll give it a class of ID of. Can I get the internships with including these projects? Yeah, definitely. You can get internships, but not from these projects because they are too beginner friendly. But definitely, if you want to build advanced projects, basics must be clear. To clear your basics for those advanced projects, you can watch these projects. But yeah, for internships, you need to do more advanced projects definitely. I won't give you false hopes for that. Definitely, advanced projects will be required. Like I have built projects on React Native. You can check them out. Or I have also built a e-commerce platform on this same channel. You can check these playlists out. They will be helpful for your placements. And yeah, I'll just give it an ID. Suppose no matches, no matches. Okay, no matches. And here I would say no data found. Okay, no data found. And this is a very nice suggestion. Okay, let's add this feature right away. Okay, so let's first give it a color of white. Okay, so no data found, and font family will be suppose this, and text line will be suppose this, and suppose I'll give it a margin of auto. I hope it works. Auto won't work. Okay, it won't work. Uh, Let me just give it margin of 100 pixels. Okay, so yeah, I'll say that if there is no such result, I want to show this. Okay, initially, obviously I won't show that. So for that, I'll say that the display will be none. Okay, initially I won't be showing that, or initially you can show anything else, like you can say that search anything or type anything, but right now I won't be showing initially. Suppose if I type anything and I didn't get any result. Okay, so suppose if I have written XYZ, okay, you can see that I don't get any results. So for that, what can I do? That's the simple logic. uh, let's see that what happens if I don't get any result. Obviously the new data will be empty. Okay, obviously the new data will be empty. So here comes the game of showing these errors. So let's say if I write A, B, C, so you can see that new data is empty. New data is empty. So for that, I would say that if new data dot length and GTH equals 0, that means it's empty. That means you don't have any search result. So you can simply target this. You can simply target that ID document dot get element by ID slash no no matches and dot style dot display equals block. Okay, you'll make its display as block. Suppose if I have written x y, so what happened is style dot display because document dot element by, okay, I have to write this. And okay, let's reconsider this first. I'll do one thing. I'll create a variable outside. So const no matches. Okay, const no matches equals, and it will target that ID no matches. That means this p tag. Okay, this p tag will be targeted. And I would say that if it's empty, then you would say that make its display as block. So let's see if it works. XZ. Okay, we are not getting any results. Why is it happening? Because we have targeted it as no matches. Okay, let's see that what's happening. If I refresh this, suppose if I write XY. Okay, we'll do one more thing. And here I would say that we are getting an array of 0 length. Okay, acha, we actually committed a mistake. I'll say that if else you'd say that this will be working. Okay, so suppose if I write x y z. Okay, what's happening here? We have created, okay, one more thing. We have to erase the HTML also. If I write control X and control V. Okay, let's suppose if I have written X, Y, Z. Nah, not working. Console.log, no data found. Okay, so suppose if I have written X, Y, Z. Okay, so we are getting no data found, but this is not working. This is not working because of what? Because of one thing. First of all, make its inner HTML as blank, and let me just say that if control X, if new data dot length is greater than 0, okay, then this case will be running. Else else this case will be running. Okay, else this case will be running. Now let's see that if it works or not. Suppose if I have written XYZ. So yeah, its display is not visible. I don't know why its display is not visible, but we are getting that. Or I would say result dot inner HTML equals no data found. Okay, so let's see that if it works or not. Mm-hmm. Okay, one more thing. I guess we have given this an ID of what? No matches. All right, so if I just remove this, okay, initially if you have no data found, again if you write X, Y, mm-hmm, what's the matter? Okay, this is the issue. Okay, now let's see if I write, we are still getting no data found for what? Okay, so now if I write A, okay, if I write B, you can see now I am getting no data found. Now our logic is working very fine, and you can see that yeah, it's done. All right, so I hope you got the idea. What are we trying to do, and you can see that it's working pretty fine. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this, and let's do one more thing, that if it's working for, suppose I would say that no matches dot display is block, and initially if it's none. Okay, now let's see. So X, Y, Z. Mm-hmm. It's not working for that, so let it be. You can say that either this way or that way. Okay, so you can see that I have manipulated the CSS this way. I have made the inner HTML of result as no matches found. Okay, so if I don't have any data, if I don't have any matches, for that I would say that XYZ, you can see that no data found will be shown up here. Okay, so that's it for today, and you can see that it's showing me the results if I have the results, if it's showing me no data found if I don't have any results. Okay, so that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed this one. If I write something like MI, you can see that it will give me all the results which have MI somewhere in their name, email, location, etc., etc. Okay, so that's it for today, and I hope you got this logic for getting no data also, and I hope you got the repository also. So for repository, I told you you have to visit my GitHub. I have shared the link in live chat, or you can visit my profile github.com/virajj014. Don't forget to check out these courses, and specifically this free course, full stack bootcamp course. This is a free. I'll be live here, and the link is in description. Okay, so if you have any queries or doubts, you can comment on any of my videos, or you can it's best to message me on my latest videos, because I am not able to track all of the comments at once. You can message me on all the latest videos, or you can message me on Instagram or LinkedIn or anywhere you like. Okay, so that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one with the next project. Till then, goodbye. Can you update it on your GitHub repo? Okay, हाँ yeah, thanks यार, ये भी मैं भूल गया था. So just a minute, so I'll do one more thing. I'll update it on GitHub repository. Git add, git commit, git push. Okay, so now the source code is uploaded, the updated source code, this one is uploaded. I mean the search no data found source code one. So you can check out the repository, and the updated source code will be available here only. Okay, so if I refresh this, you'll see that yeah, I have updated it right now. So yeah, that's it for today. Where are you from? I am from Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. I live here, and that's my hometown also. All right. So bye bye, फिर मिलते हैं next